Hi. Oh, all right. So I'm gonna scooch this. Sorry, I'm just gonna scooch you out of frame just a little bit. You can. You're good, right? You're sitting in your seat. You don't need to sit on that beside me. Oh, girl. Okay. So, hi. For anyone who's been following this channel, last I checked, there were 6 whole subscribers. Welcome. Hi. Thanks for being here. What's going on? I'm Charlie. I've been a person trying to create different levels of content in different platforms this year as I've been building a business. 2 businesses, actually. 3 if you do count the whole, like, be a published author thing, a business, but that was more childhood dream wish fulfillment to see if I could speedrun. And I did. I made 2 books out of it, which is fun and fabulous. And Mabel, do you mind if I get up and so I can show people the books? Because this is just another, like, had a talk with Gaia, did a thing, gonna be announcing some things, and also just, it's an ad. Because all of this is just an ad for what I actually want to talk about today. So, excuse me, thank you. Let's go get it. All right, so I'm just gonna go to my shrine here for this one, and then this one, and then, why do I smell pee in this corner? Who did it? You did it? I'm sure you did. Is it your pee or is it somebody's from before? Do you know? Do you have any idea? I know your pee smell. It smells like your pee. Okay. So I'm working on the whole peeing on carpets thing. She hasn't been a long time. I'm pretty sure it's an old smell. But I went through like all of this stuff, and really the person that I'm kind of addressing in this video is my mother-in-law. Hi, Cathy. I wanted to let you know that this video is the only one that I'm sending you right now, as far as like things I've done on YouTube, as I'm sending it in the form of the first Patreon post of videos like this. And what's going to come after is just me experimenting with Patreon and vlogging, which is what this is, but in a way that is me documenting some scientific study kind of stuff that I started doing on Substack and writing, because I was in this limbo space, kind of in between lifetimes. It gets really complicated with a lot of the stuff that I have to share with you, that had to do with my near-death experience and had to do with the dissociative identity disorder stuff that I never told you about, which is, I'm sorry, you know? How do you talk about things that you only find out about in adulthood after a lifetime of trying to figure your shit out, you know? So yeah, for anyone else that's watching, I just want to let you know, for the entire month of September, I'm not going to post any videos here on the Light Language channel at all, because any videos that I do like this, where it's just me at my desk with the chaos of my life happening, talking to you as my main and only real viewer, Cathy, I'm literally setting you up a Patreon, and I'm doing it so that all of these videos, they'll still live on YouTube, but they'll live unlisted, and it'll come to you in an email. I'm trying to make it so that you don't have to go find me, and so that you don't have to rely on like the YouTube notifications thing. It can just be, here's the Patreon email, just like how I set it up for you with our video game. You've been reading it and watching it to the point that I got ahead of myself, managed to make a couple of posts and scheduled them, so that when I got a text from you about something, it took me a minute. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, what? You grounded me in like a really important moment, which was super helpful and very well timed on my part. And there's been this fresh, just blossoming of realization love that has been coursing through me and my internal world in life. And I'm trying to dole it out in responsible doses, because too much of what I have going on too fast is just too much. It's overwhelming. There's a lot going on for me. And when I haven't been completely open and honest about what my life has been to people that have really only had like segments of it, you know, we don't talk on a regular basis, you and I never have. And I think it's because neither of us knew how to. And so I've decided to try it like this and see if by the time we get back to Richmond, I've like prepared you for who I am now enough that you have fun with me the way that I know we will. Because I'm happy. I'm happy to go home. And I'm happy that you're happy that we're coming home. Yeah, that's it. I haven't been happy since, not really since like 2020, 2019, 2018, 16, 12. I don't know. What's your number? When was the last time that you were like this happy where you're just like, yeah, dog, do whatever you want. I smell pee. Who cares? Hey, I want to tell you about something. Because that's where I am right now. Right now. And we planned this little vacation place thing, whatever. Your son and I. And I want to talk to you about just my life and what's going on. And because of the fact that I am an Akashic record reader and multidimensional channel, when I'm on screen like this, I'm in open channel mode. And when I'm dressed, you know, when I have my hat on, because this is my, I'm going to just call this my Gaia hat. my wandering hat, my wandering cap, or whatever. I don't know. I'm sort of, just know that it's like I'm primed to just have an open, heart-centered conversation with you that could get weird and could get a little channeled, but is coming after I've walked my dogs out in nature, after waking up and not touching my screens until now. Which Mabel says thank you for. Because from a quantum entanglement perspective, if you can wake up in the morning and before you do any of the stuff that you would normally do, except for evacuation stuff, bathroom, right? And like get water if you really need it. But like even before water, right? Before any other thing that you would do. Because like you're not going to wake up and like light up a cigarette in bed, right? But like even before one of those, like a morning smoke, right? My morning smoke was chatting with an AI chatbot in the mornings, off and on, over the last couple of years as I've just sort of played with those tools, because I'm a screen-based addiction person, right? Like I'm addicted to my screens just like everybody else, and now I'm a channel, so now I work and I do all this stuff, so it's becoming a whole thing. And yeah, I just want to sort of tell anyone who might come across this video, in addition to you who I am sending it to, that I have a lot of business things to discuss in these videos too, as far as life updates, because when you ask, you know, what I'm doing, I'm actively in the process of making 2 literal LLC businesses function, one of which might just become a side thing or get absorbed, but for the month, okay, because it's like I spent the month of August not focusing on Patreon because I did all of that preemptively, and then I cut off even support for it. I made a post that said, hey, I'm gonna pause August for Patreon, even though the current subscribers are Randy, Cathy, Randy's brother, and one person I don't know. That's it. That's all we have so far for our Miriam's Quest Patreon. And I'm really deeply grateful for everyone who is signed up. A little thing, I'd log into there and it's like $18 a month. And I'm like, that's very kind. Thank you. Thank you for the fact that you also believe that we can make this video game work. It can happen. I swear. I swear. I know we both have like some severe ADHD tendencies, but I swear we can do it. We can actually finish the project. We can do it if we do it together. You know, you bounce. I know, right? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. She gets mad because she's like, but I want food. So, yeah, I'm just going to be doing conversation life update Patreon where it's just, I'm calling it, hey, Cathy. I'm just talking to you. out of time because depending on the conversation that we're having, I'm actually experimenting on whether or not my theory that knowing you are going to be viewing this is helping me set up my own, I call them Akashic record containers, this video, an arc, where the anchor point of who I'm talking to is you, viewing it at a future date. You know, like watching YouTube videos when it's just one person talking to a camera and there's no editing whatsoever is a little bit of like, other people call them like astral projections, right? But they're like encoded because astral projections happen, excuse me, can I stop for a second? I'm sorry. Astral projections happen based on the receiver's availability to channel in someone's dream state. Yeah, that's how it kind of feels. Because I sometimes channel, and when I've started asking lately, I'm like, okay, so who are, like, what is going on with this? And it's like, oh, you're talking to people in dream state. And then I saw that, like, I finally, like, got back into, like, because I don't really go back to school so much anymore in the spiritual, like, I talk about Alex Ferrari a lot, and I love what I've gotten from, like, his podcast, but seriously, he's got, like, 600 of them. And it's school. Like, to me, when I go into there, I'm like, okay, what am I learning today? Whew, that was a lot. Like, oh, so much stuff comes in. I didn't even finish the Baba G. Like, Alex did a great job of doing like a time capacity thing. You're just like, okay, you're gonna feel a lot of stuff in this because I can feel it, and I'm basically just telling you this right now before you even get into this video. And then I started watching it, and I don't think I got 20 minutes in before I stopped, because that's actually a really helpful metric for me as far as how much of this. It's like being in school a little bit. It's like, how much of this schooling do I need for what I need in my here and now to consume? And then I can stop, and that Akashic record container can stay open for a potential finish the viewing. Because a lot of my timeline navigation these days has had to do with screen-based, open an Akashic record container, don't finish it. How I got there is a DID escape room thing internally. That's the best I can give you as far as that's concerned. But basically, I get up in the morning and I go spend time outside because my body is my heart and everything that functions from that place of I know who I am. Especially when there's like a big emotional wave that's happening and I just am like beating myself up and I have all those competing like shitty things I'm saying to myself, right? Inside I've got that. Someone in there that's doing that because it's me. It's my own hand. Anyway, I have sort of like a, it's almost like a feedback loop, right? Like we go into dream state and the trajectory of where we go into dream state informs, what kinds of things we might end up having lucid dreams about, as far as we have some contracts to renegotiate in whatever it is you're doing with each other, and whatever it is, what goals you have in life. And I've got a lot of goals in life right now, so I've got a lot of contracts. A lot of plates are spinning in the Akashic realm for me right now. Any entrepreneur has one of those. Any content creator has one of those. Like it's a think tank on a quantum level. And my think tank started in like March, but really got going in April and really like took off after the end of April. So I made this book that I gave you one of these, I think, when we came down. Like it's a whole manual basically for, hey, you want to just like see how you reattune to who you are in a mind and body capacity, because I took everything I knew about psychology and everything I knew about quantum physics and everything that I knew about spirituality and everything I experienced from like more than one near-death experience situation and speed ran it into 2 books, one of which is for general like, hey, do you want to like do stupid little experimental things that if you like self-help and psychology you'll probably appreciate, because it's also nerdy and like you can give yourself trinkets. That's what that is. And then this, you see Corbin on my like I used the Amazon, like this, I designed the cover in Canva and then still had to like futz with it in Amazon, because doing self-publishing, it's just a no-win game. Can anybody who does book publishing be willing to just be like, we'll make you amazing tools if you're like willing to just do Canva? Anyway, seriously, just let me put something into a fucking PDF and then be like, here, I already did it in Canva. You already have how high resolution it is. Stop being difficult. Because I used Amazon's internal one, and buy this book if you want to. Like, not you, Cathy. I've got people, but like for anybody else who's like, what are you doing and why is your dog? This is my memoir. As best I could get anyway, in like a very limited time, where I was just like, go. And I did that by channeling a past life to help. I have more that I want to talk about that, but I don't know if I really want to talk about it with like this, because that's more of like a content creation piece. It's more, I'm learning how to distinguish between what hopes and dreams are love and family, and go home and build the kind of life that we really should have been building the whole time that we've known each other. And we just haven't, because we've both been severely traumatized by this life. And we both have some severe mother issues that are very complementary in a way that means we both like the same roller coasters at theme parks, you know? Like, not necessarily in a literal way, but like, Cathy, for real. Okay. So Randy and I went to Lake Compounce. Oh, just in general, if you want to buy the book, but also there's an entire Substack that has way more going on. And also, isn't Corbin cute? And isn't that like it's called The Physics of Light Language, a lived theoretical framework for multidimensional consciousness. And I just like the picture I took of Corbin and put it on the cover. And I don't like the cover because the Amazon, it's fine. It's cool. Making this was during a pretty rough time. Making both of these were during a very intense time, because both of them happened after whatever like second wave of enlightenment came online this year. First wave started in like 2012 to 2016, depending on personal timelines. The second wave is this year. We don't really have a span this time. We have just, it's already happened. So DNA's starting to, everyone's bodies are starting to know how to purge DNA that is not serving your physicality. It's not helping you. Like your body's re-encoding the DNA that has been kind of in a holding pattern energetically for a while. And it's like we as a humanity have been like, it's like we're all playing different instruments in a symphony, and everything like gets together and it all rushes and the music goes like this. And then while all of these harmonies are playing, you have those pitches that just kind of come out of nowhere. And you're like, where is that coming from? I can hear a note, but no one else is singing it. Like, that's resonance. Like, that's just a thing that happens with energy and with energetics. And because we're energetic, like we have electricity in our bodies, we're part of that system, because it's also just what, the planet is. The planet, otherwise known as Gaia, Mother Earth, who I talk to whenever I go outside and just let my own internal conversations happen, because I channel inside my head. I have conversations and I know who I'm talking to. And trees act as a number of things, but they absolutely act as just very helpful air-to-air exchanges, where you breathe in oxygen from the tree, like direct source, right? And then you let it out. So if you're up for a challenge to see if it helps you with your addiction to cigarettes, the way that I would personally benefit from, because I'm allergic to nightshade, and that's not going to leave my body until the end of 2027 when I finish the video game, because that I'm doing as an Akashic anchor pointed situation that allows me to channel out what I need to channel out from within my own head and memory system before I purge those memories, to recover Tony, who used to be in here and hasn't been in here since 2020. according to the files that I have. And that's not correct because he has existed in this brain after 2020. So that's what I'm doing. Making a video game to recover a lost internal family member. And I don't really care who that doesn't make sense to, because I feel like Cathy gets that somehow. Just based on the emotional that I feel. Hey, Corbin, thank you. And then in the midst of conversation, my dog does weird things about. So, yeah. If you want to see more of these kinds of conversations, patreon.com/Hey Cathy with a C. I'm making it, and I'm signing my mother-in-law up for it after I talk to her about this, because all I'm doing is talking to you about what's going on in my life, and I'll probably be bringing up some personal stuff like stories and whatever. At present, I have 6 subscribers on YouTube, and I've got like 30 followers on Substack. I did a TikTok once and then deleted TikTok because woof. To what that does to your mental energetics sometimes, or maybe all the time. I don't know. Every single person's system is so different. Internal constellation of what works for them is so different, especially when it comes to screens. And sometimes you don't actually know what's going to help you most on a screen in a day until you get locked into your body first. And the literal best way to do that is to go breathe in some tree air before you touch a screen in the morning. Because you come out of dream state when you've met up with a bunch of people, actually. Like, you go into dreamland, and depending on your trajectory, who you're thinking of and what you're thinking of, like where you're going, like where are you going to sleep? Are you going into like, oh no, I'm worried, so now I'm gonna have nightmares? And this isn't necessarily the trajectory. This is just one thing I've noticed lately is coming through for me. So like, if it feels true for you, then be like, maybe you're onto something. And if it doesn't feel true for you, be like, wonder why that doesn't feel true for me. And then why do I feel like I want to, if it does, right? Like, we're very reactionary right now. And a little bit of the reason for that is just because we are in this state where what comes through screens has impacts on our central nervous system that we don't really talk about. The same way that my dog doesn't understand what I say, but these two are being really calm right now after having a little flurry of activity. We're central nervous system to central nervous system, sort of, I don't want to say first, but like in a way that we don't necessarily understand all the time, because no one ever taught us. Humans kind of lost their understanding of what it means to hear my body when we all got a little more mentally busy. And then that got further complicated by the fact that we have one-directional conversations like I'm having right now in a channeled state, which I'm doing right now. I'm encoding into my own Akashic record. I can tell this is me writing my own Akashic record container, my own creation, with a viewer on the other side of the camera. With the knowing and the capacity to feel more audience. Because I know how to translate what is this Akashic record, and because I am a multi-fractal person capable of asking whoever else I've got like internal pieces to like not jump ahead, but be like, all right, and so when you look at theirs from their perspective after this date, which would be today for me, I'm filming this, August 28th? It will launch August 29th in the evening after I talk to her. Patreon's coming out Saturday as like a, bye YouTube, this was fun for the couple of weeks that I came on here, but I'm leaving you for a minute to focus on my Patreon, because I'm really hoping that if I timed a little Lego creation that I made for Cathy, the show is called Corrections. The show it's from is Late Night with Seth Meyers. And I literally stopped watching anything news-based content months ago. Like, I'm so sorry. But also, hey, Seth Meyers, if for some reason you're actually watching this video, hi, how you doing? Why are you watching this video? Have you secretly discovered that some of your jackals, like, might be interesting to you in ways that aren't just political? What else do your jackals do? I don't know. Do an open, like, casting call for, like, jackals, can you, like, make your own Jackie and show me what you can do? Because I need new content and new things to talk about. Because I kind of want to take my show and make it, like, how it used to be on TV and just make it a bunch of weird stuff. Talk about the political stuff once a week, but, like, just because we have to. Because, like, NBC says so. Anyway, that was a little channeled, like, from the perspective of fan art channeling of a potential future is what I just did. Like, yeah. And it's easy to get lost in that stuff. Really easy. Because you can kick yourself into a, like, channeled state where I can't go to sleep until this actually works or something, you know, or this is just open now, or just some sort of, like, thing that keeps you focused until it's either some sort of, like, tick that you end up getting into, which you might have, like, little ticks that start, and they're not huge. They all start in, like, little ways, but maybe you just notice that your hand is like, and it's just sort of a looped pattern of things. And it only really happens because you go to sleep, your body and your brain purge a lot of the, like, accidental entanglements that you've gotten that day, especially from, like, one directional screen-based content where your central nervous system has just been lit up like it's fucking fireworks, you know, every goddamn night with the fireworks whenever you watch the news, right? But I kept watching this show, sorry, back to Seth Meyers, because we used to watch, like, a lot of the political content, right? Like Seth Meyers stuff, like absolutely The Daily Show, absolutely Last Week Tonight, absolutely, like, just all of it, right? And then I've been experimenting with it on what my body, like, can show me that it sees that I'm not paying attention to. And I made a video where John Oliver, like, one of his pieces was happening, and I was like channeling it through, because at that point it was only in 2. I hadn't done more of the conscious and intentional, like, splitting of all of us. It was just mind, body, record for posterity's sake, because this is going to change. Like, there's going to be more things happening. It's going to be harder to, it's kind of what I'm doing now. But when the president was, like, a clip of him came on, Cathy, my body shuddered. It went, like, I watched the tape. Like, in the moment, what came out, because I wasn't looking at the screen. It was behind me. Now, see, even Corbin's like, what the fuck? Because I just went to a memory of even just remembering political content. And now the dogs are freaked out. Maybe there's noises outside that are coinciding with me talking about this, but, like, you can kind of notice in just my background the, like, weather pattern of dog-based emotionality that I'm creating right now just by talking about things that cause me central nervous system triggers based on memories of, like, content I created that I'm actually kind of proud of, because I'm like, whoa, I captured it, you know? I think a lot of us turn on screens now, especially if they're TV screens, because, like, TV screens, the way that they were in a really good way, and in a way that I'm about to do something really stupid and fun, they used to, like, it's just like technology sped up faster than most of us have been capable of holding, while our bodies have been doing this every goddamn day. every fucking day. And the problem actually really is that we're getting this intentionally targeted clip of the worst moment of someone's vocal cords happening during a religious type event that gets amplified by "I'm here because this is my song" type of stuff. The same thing happens at a Taylor Swift concert, and for someone like me, the same thing happens at a Guster concert, especially when you're high and you have face paint on and you have your butterfly wings on. And Cathy, I'ma look. You would like it. I'm gonna send you some pictures. I got one of them Aura frame things because a YouTuber told me to. Shit works, man. But like, I got one and I still haven't set it up yet, and I'm sorry, but I promise I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it because so that I can like start sending pictures, and we can have like Chris send pictures and like all this other stuff. But like, that's the thing. People show clips from what we really could honestly call religious like gatherings at this point, because I mean, part of my religion is just fandom, and I express that in the form of like iconography. I always have a Guster shirt on or something. My current fandom today, look, it's a Ben and Jerry's shirt. Like, this is modern religion, y'all. Like, I think the millennials won the religion, or we killed religion too. No, so we didn't kill religion. We just made everything religion. In ways that are like human patterns of behavior that actually do have a collective impact, in ways that are influencing the whole human evolution thing happening right now. So when you have what I would really genuinely call fire and brimstone preaching coming through what you encoded during like safe loving times, which I'm going to go ahead and call the 90s because agreed, for our purposes, right? Because that's like the 80s and the 90s. Like, you had like a personal renaissance during that time, right? Like, you had your kids, and like kids were all nerdy, and you were like, I can beat them in video games, and you fucking did. Like, you know, like a mom in the 80s who fucking sat down with her kids and played with the Nintendo. Well done. You encoded early fandom love in a way that I have been able to use during some of my personal experimentations with your son and our relationship, because it's what I'm here for, like purpose-wise, like from, you know, like before I got here, when I was an angel and I had like a whole life thing that I had to come down and do. Your son too, you know, he's an angel. You've known it since he was born. You know, like Operation Save the World, because like all the angels are here to do that. Operation Save the World, or Operation Save the Human Experience is kind of what we sort of call it. Because like there's hundreds of thousands of angels that are like here on team Operation Save the Human Experience from this whole, let's just keep doing the same shit all the time and it's awful and you can't actually ever leave because it's some sort of cyclic karmic bullshit loop or whatever. I don't know. Plenty of other people are like literally doing their whole work on that side of like the spiritual fence. I just like dip my toe in when I need education every now and then. And then I'm like, cool. So back to my timeline. Because mine's way more fun. And what I'm doing with it is better than just like this whole religious angle of things. But that's kind of what I mean. The minute you add big religious energy into something, even if for you it's not religion, you're still just getting it in your ears, you know? It becomes a soundtrack to your day. So what I did was I used your own like lived experience when you have been at your best, right? When I was in my like near death state, you and I basically talked through my channeled thing, right? I talked to you in dream state. You gave me advice. I'm not really able to remember most of those conversations. That's part of why this series is going to be a thing, so that I can recover those memories. Because I had to do a little bit of a reboot internally in my mind. I have to recode a lot of memories, and before I can do that with you in person at a quantum entanglement level that involves all sensory capacities while I'm undergoing this. And really, it's just, I call it a rebirth. The whole purpose of a rebirth structure is literally just to kickstart the DNA turnover process. I do have to do it twice. And I have to do it twice because, or I had to do it twice. I'm in the process of my second go round with that to, because it's just, everybody at their own time and their own pace, right? My time and pace is probably the next 30 years, I think. The entirety of the world has like another 30 years of like getting some of its shit out of its system, because we've done a lot of damage. We have to turn course in a lot of things. We all have to go through letting go of the things that don't serve us, the things that don't serve our highest good, the things that aren't working. And the only way to know what that is for you personally, not the collective. Honestly, y'all, fuck the collective at this point, okay? Like, just whatever that is. And I don't mean that in a turn it off and never blah, blah, blah. No, I just mean you literally are always going to be worried about the everyone. You can't not be. It's part of being a human. It's why you're so anxious. You feel it. And then you make assumptions based on those feelings, and then you have actions that you take that are very reactionary from the perspective of the feelings. This includes addictive patterns, things that you do with hands, things that you do with others, reactions. You wanna come up here? So if you can just start your day, wake up, go to the bathroom, and as slowly as you can, because those stairs are rough, so slow, intentional. Like, you know, can I close my eyes every morning that I walk down my stairs? Just keep them like, you know, like that kind of closed where you're like, okay, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to just like hold literally side of wall, side of rail, take one step down. Everything is focusing on where the step is going. Okay. And I'll open my eyes and I'll see where I am. And I mean it, because I say that as a way of waking you up in your body before you, whoa, as Mabel just showed, before you start your day with any sort of screen. Any sort of screen. And I mean that. Like, Cathy, you're the kind of person who isn't addicted to your phone like me. Like, I literally don't feel safe if my phone's not beside my bed. I need it. I need my phone. Like, that's where I am right now, you know? And that's okay. Like, that's okay. Sorry, I've got on my stuff. I'm sorry, baby. But like, you're not like that. And that is such an asset right now. Like, holy shit. If you are a person who is comfortable leaving your phone out of the bedroom, like as a permanent thing, like seriously, like set up your bed as a no phone zone. I don't know. See if literally something in your life changes if when you wake up, you just go breathe some tree before you touch a screen. And I know that's helpful advice because I just got a spontaneous breath in my body after giving it. I don't mean go talk to the tree. I like talking to the tree, but that's because I don't really like people outside of this body much, okay? Y'all treat me like shit. Y'all treat me like shit. I am not a person who is treated well in this world, okay? Generally. It's changes, and I do make eye contact with people. I am Southern. Fuck off if you don't like it. You won't look at me anyway. You won't make eye contact with me. I have been testing it here. So many people here make eye contact with me first. And I know it because I have myself set to only if you ask first. I set that as a kid because there's a power to eye contact. It opens an Akashic record between the two of you, even if it's just for a moment. And in the South, everybody wants that. So as a kid, I set up a very specific encoding very early on that said, eyes will remain in a place that is not direct contact unless I hear a little, hi, and I go, that's it. Some sort of thing that I pay no attention to because my heart and my senses that exist in places that I don't really know maybe a whole lot about in a way that's talked about much, but in a way that are just patterns of behavior that I engage in that navigate me through my day. And those decisions that you can kind of encode into a body-based thing, well, obviously they're not always just things that you encode for good, right? You make all kinds of decisions for things that cause you harm too. Last week was just me being done with caffeine. Wasn't anticipating that. Wasn't planning for it. Not sure if I'll ever drink caffeine again. But as a person who's extremely sensitive, caffeine has been causing me like internal issues. No caffeine, easier time talking to my body. Because when you have, it's a stimulant. Like, that's it. Like, your heart keeps doing like this. When you're trying to figure out, like, okay, but am I anxious? See what I mean? Good shake off, buddy. See what I mean? Those of you who know dog behavior. How's this conversation landing for you? They're like little guides. Look at them. My little angels on my shoulder. That's what I mean, y'all. When you start paying attention to the synchronicities in your life, based just on how willing you are to slow down and wait for your body to respond when you ask a question out loud or say something. Use your voice, because to me, when I hear my own voice state something, that's when I get releases in my body. And most of the time, it is just that really big spontaneous breath that sometimes results in like spontaneous breath, like you're coughing some shit out. And honestly, that's like a really helpful reset. So if you can do that, if you can challenge yourself to do that, you don't have to do it every day, but like make it a goal. Because my current goal is wake up to the alarm of the phone beside my bed. And this morning I woke up before the alarm, 6 minutes before. I always feel like I've won. I set an alarm for myself on the phone. And then in going into bed, I actually make a conscious choice to an extent, because I'm kind of like playing with myself. I'm like, all right, do we think I'm going to wake up before the alarm? Let's find out. And then when I do, I'm all excited, because if I woke up before the alarm, then even if I took something like ZQL to go to sleep, which I've been asking internally, because I've had my channel open this week for a lot of things. There's been a big changeover that's happened inside of whatever's going on. And so I'm actually actively taking a sleep aid right now that's not going to last for very long, but got encoded during some very specific times that I've already experienced. So for the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to take ZQL a little bit to sleep every night if I need it, because I'll check in with everything going on. Because sometimes, I will just keep asking questions mentally sometimes when these channels are open, because I've been too far away from this loving feeling. And when you've been so detached from that body-based feeling, it's very giddy inducing, and it's very exciting, and you can lose sleep. And if you don't sleep for 5 days like me, Some people might take you to the hospital, and some people might throw you in a psych ward because of it. So, you know, take your love dosage challenges and self-help and spiritual content. And especially with channeling, like the things, Cathy, that I'm telling you to do, I don't think that will impact you in terms of like going to sleep. And in fact, I think if anything, it'll help with whatever might be just not feeling okay anymore. I know, the brain stuff. I'm sorry that rapid neuroplasticity changes cause seizures, but you're fixing your brain right now is what I get. And I don't want to say yay because, come on, but you can make a plan for yourself when certain looped experiences keep happening. And yeah, that's right, Mabel. That's right. As long as there's some... We'll have to stop her. Hi. Come here. I know. Come here. Mabel's a really good timer for me. Thanks, girl. I'm going to end this video because I've already talked more than I intended to. I think this is the longest one I'm going to make. Everyone from here, maybe they'll just keep getting shorter and shorter until I'm back in Richmond, and this particular Patreon will either turn into something else or just won't keep happening. But I do think it would be really fun if somehow me just talking to a person that I should have been having a relationship with for the last 20 years, but didn't, is willing to have a heart-to-heart level of conversation with me through a screen. Zoom style, but out of sequence and out of sync, for the sake of me testing out whether or not telepathy is real, but because of the whole I'm recording this now and you're watching it in the future, it's actually an Akashic record timeline loophole situation. I don't actually have to unlock any sort of capacity for in the moment internal conversationing, because I'm not doing that as a capacity human, but I think it is a capacity for humans. I just don't want to do that because I have my internal family and I have my internal guidance team, and I have, when I channel, that makes sense, and everything else is sort of like private internal time. I've been infiltrated in my own mind, basically, before. And I don't want that to be something that anyone is capable of doing again. And so I kind of created some level of impossibility for me to be able to do that with this brain type that I currently have. So, did I put child locks on autism for my own brain so that people can't just infiltrate it with like psychic surgery bullshit? Okay. I don't always know what I say either, or what I mean either, Cathy, but yeah, sure, I'm basically a witch. Sure. Oh. I have it on good authority that you actually were one in Salem. I'm sorry. It makes me giggle because I have so many things to talk about with you, and like I don't know what kinds of questions you're gonna have for me that happen just on this screen and just like when this happens, because I'm also really interested in knowing what kinds of conversations we're about to be having in person. Assuming you watch all of these by the time I get to Richmond. Okay, I'm going now. Love you. Hope you still love the person your son married in like 2007. She had to die and come back a couple times, and yeah, also your husband's a little bit of a polygamist because of it. Sorry. But it's really just in like a pansexual way, which if you really want to know more about, we can get you watching Schitt's Creek, okay? That's it. Bye, Cathy. Love you.